Welcome to the Dr. Leadership Show, where we take a look at how you approach your work and personal life and how we can make the most out of both of them. A weekly get-together where we get real about self-improvement and development as we all make this not-so-easy journey through life. Our discussions will cover ideas and concepts from how to grow your career to how to lead your family towards prosperity and happiness. We don't pretend to know it all, and the doctor is the first to be vulnerable, discussing his own weaknesses, both past and present. This is about growing together and having some fun while we discuss what is happening in the crazy world we live in and how to make the most of it. Let's strive for awesome together. Let's get after it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dr. Leadership Podcast. Hope you're having an awesome day. Happy Wednesday. If you're listening to this first thing in the morning on your way into work, keep your eyes on the road. Don't bump into the people in front of you because you're not paying attention. So hope you've had an awesome week. Remember that you can always join the membership site out here. Go into our website at www.drleadership.results.com. Click on subscribe. Check it out. You get early access. So it's not Wednesday that a lot of people are listening to this. It's on Saturday or Sunday because they get early access at all the cool episodes that we have going on. Having an announcement on a very, very good guest coming up. This next week, I'll be recording in the evening with Kim Addis, who is a coaching company that she actually owns and started, has a couple of books out there, some great content, offers some online coaching and some things of that nature. She's going to come on the show. Very excited about that. That'll be hitting the airwaves in a couple of weeks. And then we also are working on getting some more financial things set up for your financial well-being out there. So again, hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful day here in Des Moines, Iowa, and very excited about that. Great lawn day yesterday. I'm a big lawn guy, and I'm going to tell a story about that here in a few minutes. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode. For all the fathers out there, we carry very important roles, and so do the mothers. I'm talking about just the episode last week. But hope you enjoyed that. Give it a listen. Some of the things, there's lots and lots more information and more things you got to be good at to be a father. But touched on 4 or 5 key attributes that I think have been important in my life. Haven't done it all right. I've had good days and bad days as fathers, or as a father. And I hope you have more good than bad. I think that the little conversation we had last week will help you do that. But this week, going to go back into kind of, I said I was going to tell a story about my yard day. It's the second story of the episode this week, but I'm calling this Don't Be the Robin in the Window. It's about being consistent, and it's about being prepared to expect the unexpected. Just when you think there's clear sailing in this world, something pops up on you, and we got to be resilient, we got to be tough, and we got to be consistent so we can battle through those situations that come at us. And I've got a couple of stories, and they aren't made up, 100% true. It's my life. It's like chapter 4,608 and 4,609 in the book of You Got to Be Kidding Me stories in my life. But, and again, back to the prior episodes, last episode, Father's Day. This week, we're going back into a little bit of something, personal life, business life. This is going to be something, an attribute that you can take to both sides of your life, your business life, your personal life, or whatever. It's good all the way around. So getting back to lessons in life, I want to talk about consistencies. And it's always striving for the next step forward. The reason the topic is on to be the robin, yes, the beautiful brown-breasted bird that we all see and admire daily in our lives. I was sitting at home this week. I had just gotten home from travel, and I took my car, and I went and got it washed. And we have a Mr. Clean or Mr. Car Wash or whatever here in town. So I drive over, and my wife had just gotten back from giving the dog a walk, and she was kind of picking weeds. She does that to get some sunshine and stay fit. Very, very fit lady. And I take off, wash my car, and I come back, and she's out in the driveway hand washing her car. So first of all, it makes me feel bad. I'm not doing it for her. She also has the little tag for the free monthlies. And so I pull up and go, I would have taken it for you. And she goes, I just saw it. It was filthy. I haven't done it by myself, washed the car personally in quite some time. And I just thought I'd do it. And a few weeks ago, I had done the ceramic coat on it and all sorts of stuff. So when she was done, it just looked absolutely awesome. We had 2 clean cars in the garage on the same day, which is an oddity. So I go inside. She's finishing up the work. And I sit down and I flipped on the golf tournament. Just see what happened in round one. This was on Thursday of this last week. And I'm sitting there, and in my house, there are some windows at the front of the house, and then I've got these giant windows on the back of the house that kind of look at this wooded area behind us. Real pretty view, lots of greenery and wildlife, etc. And I'm sitting there, and behind me I heard this boom, and I'm like, holy cow, that bird's dead. I knew instantly what had happened. And I go outside, and my wife is washing the car, and I go, yep, that bird's dead. And she goes, I heard that. I thought you slammed the front door and come out and looked for Amazon packages or something. And for once, there wasn't an Amazon package there. And I look down, and there's this beautiful robin, and it ain't moving. So I take my foot, and I kind of edge it around a little bit, and it doesn't respond. It's dead. And I look up on the glass, and there's this, face print of the robin on the window. And it had me start to think a little bit. And the first thing that went in my mind was going, man, that robin thought it had life by the tail. It's looking at that beautiful wooded area clear through the house, front window through to the back window, looking at the horizon. Life is grand, and all of a sudden, that quick, boom, dead. Now, I tell that story because I thought, this kind of plays out in life. Not that you're going to run head on into a window. I have done that in my life. Someday I'll tell that story. It was at a Hardee's. Broke my nose, spilled a shake, ran into the glass door. But this bird gave me the idea about how just when you think everything is kind of smooth sailing, life comes up and knocks you down. Knock this bird down real hard. I hope nothing like that ever happens to you. Knocks you down to, the end of your breathing days. But it really had me start thinking about how life does this to all of us. You can think you've got everything figured out, and in a millisecond, things can change due to what you're doing, due to what somebody else is doing, due to outside circumstances, etc. So this robin got me onto this topic, and I've kind of ruminated about it, taken very few notes this week, just kind of want to talk through this. But the robin banging its head caused me to think, I think I need to talk about being consistent and always having your head up. It's why I talked about don't rear end the person in front of you if you're listening to this in the car this week. So when you think you have life whipped, just know a curveball's coming. And I'm 56 years old, and this has been true in my entire life. There's been times where I'm, my wife said a great comment. You're either heading into a storm in life, you're in a storm in life, or you're heading out of a storm in life. Anybody that looks like they have all their proverbial shit together is facing one of those three right now. They don't know they're getting into one. Sometimes you don't know that you're in the storm or heading into a storm till you're in it. But these are these curveballs in life. Life is hard at best, and you have to train your mind and your emotions to be able to hit the curveball. It's not an if something's going to come at you. It's a when. And then it's not one and done. You got to bat very, very well your whole life from a mindset and a mentality and an emotional perspective to get through this thing. And that's what this is about, is just being consistently focused on self-improvement and continuous drive. In business, it might look something like this. You've been working for years. Development and hard work have allowed you to get or catch a monster of an account. One that takes your lifestyle to another level, maybe. Mine was Pella Windows years ago. I was an on-the-street sales rep in 1992. 61 appointments later, I had taken a Xerox account for 30 years and turned it into at that time, Mita, before it was even Kyocera Mita. This is before I was at my current employer. And sold them 17 big production systems. And it was a life changer. It allowed me to have the down payment money to buy my first home, and allowed me to get a new car for a second vehicle, and allowed a lot of nice things to happen. Put my name on the list in the local community, opened up unbelievable doors down in Pella, Iowa for other accounts, because in Pella there's two big companies, Pella Windows, which was called Roll Screen at that point, and also Vermeer, the big yellow and black colored items that you always see putting gas lines in the ditches and those types of things. Those two companies are in a town of 12,000 and 5,000 people work at these two locations. So it really gave me some recognition in town. So you can go through this years of development. As I said, 61 appointments. I stay consistently focused. Go see him again. Go see him again. Go see him again. That was over about 2 years that happened. And I was down there all the time, so I'd always make an appointment with Jim Zylstra, who was the Print Center manager down there. Hey, Jim, hope you're listening. So I caught this monster. It improved my lifestyle, allows me some peace of mind on my financial stresses because I was going to sell them more stuff. But what can happen? This made me think, right? I have this locked up, you think. It's clear sailing to my retirement and all my financial goals, and suddenly you're the robin. Boom, in the window. You don't see it coming. You haven't done things to protect yourself from a heavy impact like that, and out of nowhere, things like this can happen in your business life. A new direction from your customer. They decide, like in today's world, I can have a really good customer, and suddenly they decide we're not going to print our own stuff anymore. We're going to go outsourcing, and you lose the customer. Maybe it's a new CEO that has new direction for the organization. Whatever you're selling, they decide we're not going to be in that business any longer. Maybe that happens. Maybe your customer retires, your contact retires, or has a sudden health issue. Anything like that. Peace of mind is gone since you didn't stay consistent, in that case, on prospecting and building another monster, finding other clients, expanding relationships inside the organization or the customer. Somebody retires or somebody gets sick. All of a sudden, you're on the same footing as your competitors because your only relationship was with the one person that liked you. Don't let yourself be put through or put into this situation, I guess I'll call it, because of lack of vision to the what ifs of life. I don't know, maybe something like a pandemic happens. That impact anybody on the radio waves today? Did you come into 2020, early 2020, and life by the tail? I'll tell you what, my wife and I had life by the tail. When the pandemic was announced and the Trump administration shut down flights coming in from overseas and everything, we were on her incentive trip at the Fairmont TPC in Phoenix, one of the nicest resorts you'll ever stay at. We're living large. We've just gone to the liquor store to buy $1,000 worth of liquor because we're going to have a big party for her whole team. 80% of her team had made the trip. 24 hours later, we're checking out, trying to get on a plane, get home. I'm trying to back that up the day before, finding a rental car that was going to cost me $2,500 to get from Phoenix back to, at that time, living in North Carolina. The world gets turned upside down on all of us quickly. Maybe war. Maybe. We had battleships from Russia pulling into Cuba this week. Remember many of you don't probably remember little thing, and I was too young. I wasn't born yet. Cuban Missile Crisis, closest we've ever been to, nuclear war, a third world war, until now. Things happen, is what my point is. So pandemic, war, whatever. The key on the business aspect of this is you got to continuously be prospecting. You got to continuously be improving your skills. You got to continuously be positioning yourself to be the right choice for your customers and your internal company so you can consistently keep growing and moving forward. I'll give you a big key. When you bring down a monster, if you are fortunate enough to get a really good customer, things really start going, you go from making $60,000 a year to $90,000 a year. Don't live like you're making $90,000 a year. Up your lifestyle to live in $70,000 a year lifestyle. Take that extra 20 and turn yourself into a millionaire in 20 years by saving. Because the what ifs can hit you financially. Tell you a story about me. I'm speaking from experience here. I've touched on this a couple times in the past, but I was really flying high. I had just built $1 million home down in Charlotte, North Carolina. The economy was cooking. This is 2005, now 2006, and it is cooking. I've got this beautiful pool. I've got a Hummer H2, and I've got a Cadillac CTS sweet ride sitting in the garage. I've got 2 beautiful daughters. I've got this unbelievable home. Belong to the country club, play golf every Saturday and Sunday, social events on the weekends, social events during the week. It's awesome. I decide that I'm going to go out and I see all these homes being sold, these $1 million homes. I'm going to start building homes on the side because I am pushing forward. I am trying to take it to the next level. I see what these people do. I, at this point, have built 6 or 7 of my own homes, or had homes built for me, have built private homes. And I decide I'm going to get my GC license. So I go out in 2007, I start a company, Taylor Signature Homes. And I go out and I get my GC license. I go to the test. Now, the code book in North Carolina is about 1,300 pages deep. So I did some study and I look at it. I take the test on Friday the 13th, believe it or not. It's a 4-hour test. I go in. First question's an easy one, like you're converting like square feet of tile to square yards of carpet. I think this is going to be easy. Second question is like in a seismic zone D and a wind zone C with 130 mile an hour winds on the roof trusses into your top plate. How many, 6-penny nails do you have to put in each truss? I'm in trouble, Houston. So I go through, thank God, open book. And I figured out how to use the index and the glossary real fast. Mark the sections. Roof question, this 200 pages. Foundation question, this, and I could find it quick enough to help me out. So I get done and I pass and I start building homes. Build and sell one. Boom. Great. Extra cash. 150,000. Boom. Right in the pocketbook. I decide now, let's go big. Let's do a couple. Right? I'm going along. Everything's great. It's now 2008 and a half. It's mid-2008. What happened in 2008? Complete collapse of the mortgage and banking market. Not a recession, man, a massive recession. Now, I've got $1 million properties up. I'm paying $15,000 a month out of pocket because I got to keep these things afloat. So see, I went from life is on the high fast lane, everything's going great, to boom, I got a problem. My 401k borrowed against it. Had a big home. Thank God it was a side project. So I was still making decent money. The company was doing okay. I was leading the Carolinas from a sales standpoint. I was a strategic director of sales at this point. My career had progressed very, very well from that Pella Windows deal in 1992 to 2007. I was making significant money. But all of a sudden, I had a drain on it, caused significant stress in the household, lots of changes, people around us going under, and I had to write off and bankrupt out the company. And that was a real setback to me mentally. I felt like a failure. Now, my dad stepped in here, and my parents, both of them, they loved me unconditionally. My dad had a very good comment to me. You know, you outlasted Lehman Brothers. Remember Lehman Brothers, if you don't remember, went under quick. They were a multi-billion-dollar organization, been around for 75 years. He goes, you outlasted them, hold your head high. Now, I paid every bill. I paid everybody off, didn't foreclose on any of the properties, but it cost me about $700,000. That's a lot of money when you're 36 years old. Thank God I'd been saving and saving and saving. Went through a divorce after that because I didn't have a good partner. And to ride through that, things were great when it was great, and things went bad when it got bad. And thank God it allowed me to step into the greatest thing in my life, which is my wife, Erin. Saved my life. Nothing but positives have come from my relationship with my wife, Erin. She's helped me grow and helped me be a better man. But what my point is here, folks, is I had my proverbial shit together. I'm a pretty smart guy. It's not braggadocious. Just I pride myself on my knowledge and my IQ and my EQ, emotional intelligence and intelligence coefficient, right? How high your IQ is, etc. And out of nowhere, uncontrollable hits me. So you have to be prepared so you aren't the robin in the window. It's all about being constantly and consistently preparing for the what-ifs, the bad thing. Don't live a negative life and be scared, but also understand that good times end and have to be rebuilt. You need resilience. You need mental toughness in this world because it's coming at you, man. There's no stop sign for bad news. It's going to keep coming. How about clean sailing in that personal life of yours? All good until a health issue? Issue with your parents, maybe? Life is peaceful until it isn't. Yesterday, I'm a big yard guy. I told you I'm going to give you 2 bird stories. Can't make this up. I'm a big yard guy. Right now, my life's really, really good. My wife and I are very, very fortunate. We're looking at the end of our careers, right? We're trying to figure out how to retire a little bit early here. We've got a couple left, but things are pretty good. Savings going well. We saved our asses off for 10 years. Far ahead of people that have been saving a lot longer. But we didn't try to keep up with the Joneses, and we didn't ever have FOMO, fear of missing out. We didn't need to be seen at all the restaurants. We didn't need to be seen at all the other items because we wanted to put in the hard while we're young so we can enjoy it in the end. But I'm out doing my yard, and it prides me. It goes all the way back to my parents. 99.9% of the people out in the world that drive by your house will never get to know you personally to know if you're a good guy, good girl, bad girl, but they are going to judge you on what the outside of your house looks like. So I always have pretty flowers. I always have the yard high and tight. I edged. I did everything, made it top notch, man. This thing is a good housekeeping cover shot when I'm done. And I sit down, I'm drinking a Gatorade, and I think life's good, and I'm looking out those big windows that the robin thought was clear sailing, and all of a sudden I hear, what the hell's that? Who is drilling something? What is going on? I stand up. What in the hell? I go out on my back patio. I look up. There's a woodpecker sitting on my gutters, hammering the hell out of my gutters. I went from clear sailing to, what in the world am I going to do about this? Now, that's not a world-ending event, but it is an aggravating event. I went from peace of mind and something happened to, oh my goodness, something's going on. I have to deal with this. No different than in your business life. If you're going along and all of a sudden your buyer changes, your company changes direction. How about your kids going through your personal life and all of a sudden one of your kids falls ill or one of your kids isn't making really good decisions. You love them, but you don't like them right now. I face some of that stuff every once in a while too. We're all human. You hope for the best for them, but they are not planning for the what ifs. And you know the train's coming down the tracks and going to smack them. And then guess what? They raise your hand and you're the smartest guy in the room. Then, right now, not so much. So just know that peace and quiet, that serenity, that what a wonderful day, always has the opportunity to something come at you. And if you aren't mentally tough, if you aren't prepared, if you aren't continuously working for self-improvement and not sitting back and resting on your laurels, it's going to be harder than if you were constantly moving forward and concentrating on it. Admire my work and suddenly a woodpecker. Admiring my home and looking out peacefully and a robin hits the front window at Mach 4 and is dead. These things happen. It can be your health. It can be your family, your kids, your parents, your siblings. Good friend may suddenly have something that you have to help them face through. Good friend going through divorce, whatever it might be. You have to be ready. You have to be consistent so you aren't the robin in the window. You don't want it to surprise you. Now, things are going to pop up that we weren't expecting. It's all about the preparation to be mentally tough and consistent and resilient so you can handle it. In life, consistently expect the unexpected. Plan for the worst and hope for the best. Be mentally tough and teach your kids to be tough too. Society today is full of weak-minded people that want to be taken care of and coddled, and it will not last. It can't. Sooner or later, the producers of this world, the people that get up and make this economy roar, are going to get pissed. And you're seeing it in the polling and the things going on right now. You can love or hate him, the prior administration president, but the train's coming down the tracks, folks. Train is coming down the tracks. I don't know how these people are going to respond when it happens. What are they going to do when the big thing in life hits them? They aren't prepared. The protesters and things in this world are the people that are living off of the people that are producing. That's what I mean by the producers. They're going to get tired of it. Something for nothing goes away eventually. You can't sit back and count on this. So sooner or later, it's going to be a problem. Take care of yourselves. Do it today. Make steps today to ensure that a surprise doesn't cause very significant impacts and heartaches. Life can be hard. Life can be easy. When it's easy, the hard is coming. When it's hard, if you've done the right prep and you've got yourself mentally tough, the easy will come sooner than if you aren't. Life can be awesome, but you've got to be awesome and stay consistent to make sure that that part of the ride is much longer than waiting in line for it to come out of it. You're either heading into a storm, you're either in a storm, or you're exiting a storm. The best part of that is exiting a storm, right? But just remember, as soon as you exit, time is determining when that next storm you head into. So be prepared. Be consistent. Be resilient. Be strong. Be awesome. Talk next week.